Are we live? I hit start and I didn't really mean to, so I guess we're just going to wing it. Just give me 1 second to close the door. I meant to close the door. I didn't want to show my moneymaker while I did it, but bear with me. This is a family show. Close the door. Let's angle the camera a little bit. Let you see that puppy wuppy. Look at her go. All right. I legit usually like to start these with some music. Double check that the stream is working, that the audio is working. There always seems to be an issue with the audio. There's literally a USB through button on my mixing board. And depending on what type of media, if I'm showing a video and I want you to actually hear it, sometimes I have to hit it. But sometimes when I hit it, then it sounds very echoey. So I always like to just check and see what it sounds like. So what we'll do is we'll keep the live stream open here in the corner on my phone and we will let it rock. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. If you are seeing this on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on YouTube, I am Michael Brown, owner of Seymour Mac Productions. One of my goals for 2025 was to do weekly live streams. Sometimes I'll be talking about video production related topics like we're going to be doing today. Sometimes it might be personal topics. The other thing that I'm going to be doing very, very soon is going to be starting the podcast, which will be on a less frequent basis, maybe once or twice a month just to start it off. Those are going to be pre-recorded. I don't think I'm going to do those lives, but I'll have a guest on where we just talk. We just talk. All right. Nothing in particular. Maybe it's about business. Maybe it's about their business. Maybe it's about life. Maybe it's about the Dolphins. I don't know. Whatever the heck they want to talk about. I'm looking to have interesting conversations. I don't have an intake form yet for the podcast. I don't have anything for the podcast yet. I have a software that I'm practicing on. But if you would like to be a guest or you think you know somebody who would be an interesting guest for me to talk to and you'd like to see us have a conversation, you could definitely drop a comment below. Tag them in this post. Tag them in the post, all right? And if you are there's a whisper backstage function. If I had a producer, that'd be sick. If you are here and you're watching this live, let me know you're here. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're from. I want to see if this chat function actually works here in this software because nobody ever comments live. So I don't even know if I'm real. I might be AI. So let's dive right into it. This week, this week, I'd like to talk about client testimonials. Okay, I made a post yesterday or the day before where I shared a little blurb about how powerful client testimonials can be, not only for you as a business owner, and it literally does not matter what type of industry you're in, but I also want to talk about it from the perspective of a videographer, a video production company, how and why you should be selling these to your clients. Okay, so we're going to do a little two-part harmony here. We're going to have a part of this conversation is going to be for the business owner. I'm going to share some examples of some client testimonials that my clients have done for me just because I have them at the ready. And I'm also going to share some that I've done for some of my clients. Those may be for Burke Home Services, maybe Rick Franzo, the growth coach of the Poconos, maybe CMG of Easton, a construction management company in the Lehigh Valley. Or like I said, maybe for myself, because why not some selfish plugs here. All right. So let's start kind of at the beginning. What is a client testimonial? You may see me calling them client success stories, and that's just a cooler, fancier way for me to say client testimonial. All right. I want you to picture your business, the reviews you're getting, whether it's on Facebook, on your Google business page, maybe right on your website, those 5-star reviews, right? You're a plumber. You went to Cindy's house. She had a toilet leak. It was disgusting. It was all over the floor. You came in, you saved the day. Not only did you save the day by coming in there at 11 p.m. to fix the toilet, and Cindy's husband's not good with his hands. He's a data analyst. He can't plunge the toilet. So you come in, you swoop in, you do a fantastic job. Not only do you do a fantastic job, but you gave them a fair price and a quality service, and they leave you a 5-star review in writing, which is typically how most people get their reviews for their business. You can go to my Facebook page or my Google business page, and I have a variety of 5-star reviews. I only accept 5-star, only accept 5. It looks like I'm curating the reviews, but so far so good. Haven't had anybody troll me yet. I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas, by the way. If you are thinking about trolling my reviews now with a 1-star, please don't do that. I'm a small business. I live and die on a 5-star review. So let's keep it honest and fair here. But most people leave it at that. They get their 5-star review or their written review. It lands on their Google page, which is great. When somebody searches for plumbers and near me, hopefully those are going to drive you up to the top of the search result. And what we tend to do as just human beings is we lean a little bit on somebody else's experience. What do I mean by that? Think about when you go to buy something off of Amazon, because it's basically the only way you could buy anything now. Let's say I'm going to go and buy this screwdriver, right? It's a nice, I actually got this at Lowe's, so I guess you could buy stuff at Lowe's. It's a Klein tool multi screwdriver, right? I got this for my camera gear. Oh God. It's magnetic. It's got a little socket on it with 2 sizes on it. It's got the Torx bit on it. We could flip this around. It's got a whatever. It's a nice little screwdriver. Okay. It's a multi-tool screwdriver. It's actually, I bought it on a whim. I wish it was smaller and ratcheting. Kind of like this one. This one ratchets. Okay. We're getting off topic here. Okay. I go to buy the piece. What do? I go to the reviews. Show me the 5-star reviews. Show me the 1-star reviews. I want to hear from people who have bought this screwdriver before, and I want to hear all the great things they said about it. It changed their life. Their wife was about to leave them, then they bought this Klein tool screwdriver, and now they're living a happy life. The marriage is great, better than it's ever been. Somebody's getting screwed. Let's put it that way. Show me the 1-star reviews. I want to hear all of the bad things that somebody has to say about this. Now, hopefully there's not as many 1-star reviews, but if there's even one of them, I'm scrolling down to the 1-star, and I want to hear the best of the best and the worst of the worst. And then I'm going to use past experiences of other people to make my decision, right? That's typically how it goes. Use that for any metric or any product or any service. It's the same deal. So if you're a plumber, a lawyer, a videographer, a photographer, a roofer, it doesn't matter. You pick it, whatever industry you're in. This is what people are doing. They're searching for your service. I'm gonna stay on topic here. It reminded me of a song I made up when I was like 19 called "Searching for Service." They're searching for your service. They're looking at the reviews, and if you have bad reviews, they're probably going to the next person in line because they don't want to take the chance. The risk is too high. What is a client video testimonial? What is the video form of this? It probably goes without saying on what it is, but it is those 5-star reviews come to life. What is better for your business than your happy, satisfied, best customers bigging up your company, your service, your brand for you, right? It isn't as impactful when you say it yourself as when somebody else says it, right? Think about that guy that comes into the room and he tells you about how cool he is. I'm Mike. I come into the room, I'm meeting people, and I'm saying, hey, trust me, I'm cool. I'm the coolest guy you've ever met. I'm the coolest guy you'll ever know. Probably going to come off a little arrogant, a little dishonest. I don't trust it. Let's say I'm in the room, and then Jim comes in the room and he says, hey, have you ever met that guy, Mike? That guy's pretty cool. Probably the coolest guy you've ever met. Probably the coolest guy you'll ever know. And then Cindy comes in the room. I don't know why Jim and Cindy are here, but they're not even together. Cindy comes in the room and she says the same thing. All of a sudden, you're starting to think, you know what? Maybe Mike isn't so bad. Maybe he is the coolest guy I ever knew, ever met, whatever. That's basically what we're doing with the 5-star review, right? That written testimonial turned into a video testimonial. This past year, I lost count on how many I did. I actually know exactly how many I did. I did 9 of them. Now, countless client testimonials for my clients. Okay. This has by far been one of the most popular video assets that I provide, right? My company does. When we start talking about what their goals are, why they want to hire somebody like me, what are their challenges, what are their pain points, a lot of business comes down to building trust. And one of the best ways you could do that is to use a client testimonial to do it. Now, it's way more impactful when you see the customer of yours sitting on camera and we're hearing their voice in their own words why your company is the best. Why if you're here on the website and you're thinking about hiring XYZ company, that you should choose them, because here's what we experienced. They were great. They were honest. They did quality work. Jim was a character. He was funny. They stayed for dinner. Now they've become great friends of ours. Like, that's the stuff that people want to hear because it builds trust. It's not as impactful when it comes out of your own mouth. It's way more impactful when it comes out of your client's mouth, when somebody else says it for you. So that is the secret power, or not so secret power, of the client testimonial, and why, no matter what type of business you run, you should be utilizing these client testimonials. How do you use them? Great question, Mike. Thank you, Mike. How do you use a client testimonial? Well, I think what a lot of people default to is probably on the website, right? You usually have a section on the homepage, or maybe the About Us page, a testimonial or a review tab. And these go great on those, right? They're great if somebody's already on your website, they're ready to convert, they just need a little more information. Hopefully one of these videos is going to play for them while they're scrolling, and they're going to get everything they need and then book a call, right? Request a quote. That is the idea. The other way that you could utilize them is they do work well as standalone advertisements, right? So typically when we shoot these, we offer these in a landscape format, like you're seeing me here, full screen, right? Movie style. And also in a vertical format, right? Because a lot of people are going to be finding your media, especially your video media, on social media, and they're going to be using that on their phones most likely. So what you want to do, or what we do and we offer usually, is the opportunity to get that testimonial in a vertical format and a landscape format, right? We just like to give our clients that flexibility. It doesn't take that much more effort to get that done. It takes a little bit of editing and reformatting usually, but we get it done for them. And then that way you have the flexibility, right? The landscape formats probably make more sense on your website. You could post them to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn. That's fine. But then when you when you want to start running a Facebook ad campaign, or maybe a LinkedIn ad campaign, LinkedIn is leaning a lot more into vertical video. Now on LinkedIn, you can see at the bottom of your app, there is a video tab dedicated to vertical video. So they are going to be, over the past year and through this year, they're going to be building out that system, because they realize how much power that has to keeping people on their platform. And these platforms, all they care about, especially when it comes to organic content, is keeping people on the platform, right? But when you're running Facebook ads, let's say, for example, having that vertical version of it works really well, because the way that Facebook is going to place your ads is they're going to place your ads in the Reels algorithm. They're going to place it in the stories. They're going to place it in the marketplace. They're going to place it in all of these different versions of feeds that they have. And Meta will also mirror those over onto Instagram. And Instagram is basically an outright vertical format, or a square format application. So you're going to get those same ads pushed through the Reels feed, the Stories feed, just on the Explore tab, maybe in the Marketplace, things like that. So having that vertical version, the way I just licked my lip just now really threw me off. Having that vertical version is very, very powerful as far as formatting goes, and what is just when you're on a phone, it's filling the screen. It's a lot more comfortable. So I would highly consider that. Putting some money behind a client testimonial as its own standalone ad with a nice call to action at the end to say, not only would we recommend them, we do recommend them, and then have a a call now button, a request a quote button, have some good copywriting there, lead people to booking a call with you, scheduling an estimate, maybe going to a landing page or to the website, wherever that conversion sequence leads them. It gets them a little bit further down the funnel. All right. So client testimonials, by far, I know I've kind of like beat this horse to death. By far the most powerful assets that you can have. Okay. That's as a business owner, right? Now, I am a business owner, and I also happen to be a business owner that uses client testimonials. Isn't that right, Mike? For a long time, and I was just having this discussion with somebody, I was preaching this to people, saying, hire me to film your testimonials for your company. And then you would go to my website and there would be no video testimonials. So I started making sure that as long as my customers were happy with the service that they got from me, maybe the experience, the specific results they got, we're going to get client testimonials from them and we're going to use those. So practice what you preach. Before I get into how, as a videographer, as a video production company, if you are a fellow videographer and you're trying to figure out, hey, Mike, that's all sounds great. How do I pitch this to clients? I've already kind of told you what the value is in pitching it to your clients, but I could dive a little more from my perspective on this end of the camera to how and why you should be pitching these to your customers and what the power in that is, what the value is. So I can just kind of reframe that once more. But I do want to share with you a client testimonial that I had done for my company. And I'm going to share audio, share a tab or screen instead. Okay. Let's go screen 3. Also share system audio. So this is the part where I'm going to have to start playing this and see if the audio comes through. And then if it doesn't come through, I'm going to have to stop it, press this little button on my mixing board, and then start it over. So please bear with me because I have yet to figure this out. You would think I would have figured this out by now. So you're going to see Rebecca here, Rebecca Doyle from Cafe 23. She's not only a client of mine, she's also a good friend of mine. And she opened up her own cafe in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. It's kind of out there in the Lehigh Valley. And we did some content for her. What we did for her was called the Branding Starter Kit. It was basically to get her off of the ground with a series of video content and photograph content. We managed all of that content for her, scheduled it out for her. And then she saw some really great results from that. I will let her speak for me because that's the point of these. The point of these is to let your client do the trust building for you, right? So let me hit play. Wait a second until this comes up, and then I will see if the audio plays. So please bear with me if it doesn't play right away.
Working with Seymour Mac Productions was amazing. It was a great experience. It was fun. We had fun, and we got it done in such a timely manner. It was a really great experience. My name's Rebecca. I am the owner of Cafe 23. Some of the results from the reels that Seymour Mac Productions did for me were unbelievable. I didn't expect it at all. I mean, I just wanted to share my story, and my video went micro viral. So that was extremely encouraging that so many people shared it and viewed it. I had people reach out to me because they wanted to know who the team was behind the scenes, who put this together for me. It was so well done, and I agree, it was beyond my expectations. I highly recommend Seymour Mac Productions. It's been extremely beneficial to my company.
Excellent.
Working with
So we keep it simple. We let Rebecca do all the bigging up of the company and talk about her experience. And it was great for her as a new business owner, as starting this venture, having a good high production value set of content kind of lifted her up a little bit off the ground. Now she does amazing work with her own content. So she's constantly posting, which is freaking awesome. A lot of people aren't even doing that. So you don't need to hire somebody like me to do it. She just wanted something that was a little more polished, a little more produced. So that's what we did. Where she's sitting now is her physical location that she opened up this past year. That's before she did any work to it. It is amazing. It's called Cafe 23 in Emmaus, New Jersey. I highly suggest that if you are in Emmaus or Allentown or Easton, it's not far. It's not too far. You can get over there and you can have beautiful cafe, a great experience there, and I highly recommend you going over to Cafe 23. Let the girls know there that Mike sent you. Now she's going to be the only one who knows who the hell Mike is, but you could you could send me over anyway. I want to share another one with you, which is Frank.
First project.
Okay. This is Frank Ingrassi. He owns Symmetry Construction. He also owns BlackRock Property Management. He is also a client of mine and also has become a very good friend of mine. He had a great experience with us. He was more than happy to sit down, get on camera, and share his testimonial. So I want to share his testimony as well. Just so if you're a business owner and saying, hey, what do these things look and feel like? This is kind of what they look and feel like. And then as a videographer, hey, how do I pitch this? What's the value in this? How do I even go about setting it up and shooting it? This is just one way you could do it. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm just saying it's the way that I did these.
First project that I did with Seymour Mac, I was taken back. It was done really well, beyond my expectations and what I thought that media would do for me and my company. I had to keep up with the times, man. You know, the pictures just weren't doing it. I was trying to think of like the things that I was consuming, and a lot of that was media. I was always clicking on videos, watching videos. So I decided to pivot and do the same for my company. So I was watching some of the footage that, you know, Seymour Mac put out, and it was definitely the level of professionalism. I think the quality was exactly what I was looking for my company. I wasn't sure really what my budget was or what my expectations were, but I could tell you from sitting here in hindsight now that they were far exceeded. They made it a masterpiece. They did a great job. I didn't realize the ROI that I'd have on a project like this. The return on investment that I got was, I mean, it paid dividends and continues to this day. A lot of times I go to him with an idea, but he's able to flesh it out far beyond what I anticipated, right? And I think that's what brings the value to me, is a lot of times I know the direction I want to head in, I just don't know exactly how to get there. And that's something that's really helped me a lot working with Mike and his team. Without a doubt, refer to any business owner. I think that content and media creations, it's the way you have to head. It's like, if you want to continue to flourish in business, like, you have to go down this path, and I wouldn't choose to do it with anybody else. So
look, if you want to see more results, use Seymour Mac, right? That's what the video says. So that's another example of how I'm using these to promote my service, my business, but also letting people know, hey, you're not the first person to take, you know, a leap of faith with us. You're not going to be the last, but you could see that the experiences that our previous clients have had, they've had great results and they've had great experiences, right? I'm going next week to get another one from another client, actually, and then before the end of the month, I should have another one from CMG of Easton. So these are powerful. You must be using these in your marketing strategy. It's a no-brainer. They're worth their weight in gold. If you are a business owner and you're saying, hey, this sounds great, I'd love to do this for my company, you could reach out to me. You could drop a comment. You could send me a DM, and I will get back to you, and we could start discussing what that looks like. I'm putting together a retainer package just for testimonials, actually, where if you have a lot of great testimonials, a lot of great clients who'd be willing to share their experience on your behalf, then we could put these more into a monthly retainer, bring the cost down, because you're kind of locking into a longer relationship with us. So what we do is we want to incentivize you having a longer relationship with us, a longer agreement with us, by making it more cost effective for you. So there's a good way where you could save money on your investment into video by doing this. I'm going to show you one more, and then I'm going to talk about, as a videographer, from our perspective, how, why, and when you should be pitching these to your clients. The one that I'm going to show you now is one that is not for my company. This is for Burke Home Services. You can see Matt Bauman there on the right side of the screen pointing at a drawing, and we got some clients. Great testimonial. We did a series of, I believe, 5 or 6 of these. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 4 client testimonials for them, and we did 3 recruitment videos for them, and we bundled those all into a nice, neat little package. This is one of their clients. They did a great job of sitting on camera. Hopefully, what we do as the video producer and as the interviewer is make it a very comfortable and enjoyable experience. So when I'm going in and I'm meeting people, I'm looking them in the eye, I'm shaking them in the hand, and I'm finding some way to make them laugh. Usually, try to make it a nice, enjoyable experience. We're going into their home in most cases. If they're offering me coffee, even if I just had a double mocha latte from wherever, yes, I'd love a coffee. I need another 400 grams of caffeine. Sure, I do. But we did this for Burke, and it came out fantastic. And now they're utilizing it as part of their marketing strategy. They do home remodeling. They do home comfort services, which basically means you have one of those damp, disgusting crawl spaces or basements or attics. They're basically encapsulating that and turning it into a controlled environment. And they do excellent work. And not only that, they're freaking awesome guys over there. The owner, Jeremy, and I want to say I guess his title would be like VP or vice president or co-owner, Matt Bauman, are fantastic guys. Everybody else there is great. Stephanie, all the guys that work there. So let me play this because I just want to show you what it looks like from a not for me standpoint, but for one of my clients, because I think I tend to take a little more care and effort when it's for a paid client, right? When it's for me, I'm like, it's fine. But for them, I want to make sure it's right. So let's play this.
We needed to hire a contractor to fix the problem that we had in this house. When we came in, there was a musty smell in the house. When I also went down underneath the house in the crawl space, the humidity level was very high. I saw black mold. The actual insulation was starting to come down and drip from the moisture and the humidity. We really needed to find a solution, and we reached out to Burke. I actually sat down with Matt, and he explained the whole science behind what they were going to do to our crawl space. And it was actually the opposite of what I thought. After he explained everything, we actually went to a customer of his that actually did it. And when I went into that crawl space, it was just amazing how dry and environment was stabilized in there. And that's what we needed. In the 10 years that we've had the crawl space sealed, we've noticed that the musty smell has totally gone away. When I go underneath there, all the wood, the joists is completely dry. There's no mold growing. There's no evidence of it anymore. One of the biggest things we've noticed is we have no more critters running in the house. I would 100% recommend Burke Home Services to my friends, to my family. The process is very easy. They walk you through it, and they do phenomenal work.
Better your home, better results, better with Burke. All right, fantastic. I love it. All right, we're going to stop sharing that screen now. So that was for Burke Home Services. If you are in need of a service like that, please feel free to reach out to them and let them know that Mike sent you, right? Mike Brown, Mr. Mustache. So that's how you use them. That's what they look like. That's what they could feel like. As a videographer, are you pitching these to your clients? Is this even in the repertoire? Do you have it in the toolkit? You should. If you're doing corporate clients or blue collar clients, it does not matter what industry that they are in. These are powerful assets. Okay. Not only that, they're pretty straightforward. Keep them simple is what I like to say. Keep it simple. So I'm going to talk a little bit about one, how to pitch them, but then also how I approach going about filming these. So as a videographer, you have a new client, a potential client, I should say, and one of their goals is that they want to get more visibility. They want people to feel like they know them a little bit more. They feel like to feel like they could trust them. So trust building videos is what I'm hearing. If they have a unique backstory or they have an interesting backstory, I would say a good offer for them is a mission video, right? That's kind of like the about us video. This is why we do what we do. Get them on camera talking about their passion for, why they do their thing, how they got into business, what it means to them to, perform this service for their clients and what it does for their clients, right? That's what the mission video is about. Great trust building asset. The other one is what we're talking about here today, the client testimonial. The client testimonial, I've already said before, is one of the most powerful ways to build trust in somebody's business for them by letting their customers do all the talking, doing all the bigging up of the company, right? Driving that trust, driving that support for the company, because it carries so much more weight when it's coming from somebody else, right? Somebody who's already gone through the experience. In none of these cases are we paying anybody to do the testimonial for us, right? Factor number one, no way, shape, or form should you be paying a client to do a testimonial for you at all. If you've done an excellent job and they had a great experience, they got great results, they want you to be successful as a business, they will be more than happy to do the testimonial for you. And let's face it, some people want to feel like a superstar. So we bring in the lights, we bring in the cameras, and they feel like, a movie star for a day. It's great. It's a good experience for them. But if you are offering money for them to give you the testimonial, I feel like as a professional courtesy, you now need to put a little disclaimer at the bottom of the video that says this is a paid advertisement or a paid testimonial. I don't think you should do it. I think it's a bad look. I don't think it is trustworthy. I think when somebody sees that or when they find out that you paid this person to give you the testimonial, it's going to seem like you just paid them to say very nice things, even if they really meant it, and then they just got some extra scratch out of it. It's just not a good look. So I would not recommend taking money for it. Is there a way to incentivize the testimonial? Sure, but I would do it as a result of the testimonial, meaning I would not preface the conversation or the offer by saying, if you do the testimonial for us, we'll give you $500. No. I think if you want to, on the back end with no discussion, send them a gift card, send them something just as like, hey, thanks for doing that for us. You didn't have to type of deal. Send them, a credit towards their next project. I think that's different because they're not expecting it. They're not saying nice things because of that. It's just something that you're doing after the fact. All right. So that's more from the business owner perspective. But I've had this situation before, actually with Burke, with one of their potential testimonial clients. And the client just made it a weird situation. And Matt and I looked at each other and we talked on the side and we said, we both agree. We don't think it's a good idea to move forward with this client. We'll find another client who's more than happy to do it because we just, again, for all the reasons I just stated, I'm not going to repeat it. As a videographer, how do you pitch these to your clients? Trust is everything. What I say, one of my taglines when I'm talking to a potential client is, in your industry, if you don't have trust, you don't have shit. And that goes pretty much for any industry, but in construction especially, which is where most of my clients are from. If they don't have trust, they don't really have a lot to stand on. So having trust in a media asset to build the trust for them without them having to go through the actions of saying, explaining, and hoping that this person gets it and trusts them, they're able to do that through a series of client testimonials. So that is the value. The value is we are going to use this asset to build trust for you while you're running your business. All right. You're not going to have to go about building trust. All you have to do is perform your service at a high level, in an honest way. And that's going to keep the gravy train moving. These client testimonials, these trust building video assets are going to do some of the heavy lifting as well. So that is kind of the value exchange, right? That's the pitch. How much do you charge for these? It's hard to say because not all videos are created equal, but these can go anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000 to, whatever. you know, how could they be that much money? That sounds like so much money. Who's paying $4,000 for a client testimonial? A very large client is paying $4,000 for a client testimonial, because if it means that much for them to have that client, like think about some potential clients who have well-known brands as their clients, to get Nike or Lowe's or one of these big brand names, or you know, I don't know, whatever in your niche, in your industry, to get one of those clients on their website, in their social media feed, saying, hey, use these guys because they're really great, we use them. That means a lot. Their value, their customer value may be way higher than yours, right? So $4,000 seems like a lot of money for a client testimonial, until you realize if that testimonial gets them another client, they make $500,000 off of a new client. That $4,000 isn't anything for them. It's nothing. So it is on a case-by-case basis. Do we raise the price just because they have more money? No. But it is an honest conversation that needs to happen between you and the potential client to say, hey, first of all, how much do you value what this is going to bring you? How much is it worth for you? It's very important to talk about revenue, of their revenue. It's very important to talk about, hey, if this gets you another client, what does that look like for you? Is that a game changer for you? Does that bring you $10,000, $100,000 into the business? What does that mean? That means you're going to be able to, you're going to have to hire some more guys. That you could hire one or two more guys in the office. So this could really snowball into a high value asset for them. Okay. So that's what we base it off of. On the back end, as a video production company, we have internal calculations to say, we think it's going to take X amount of time to produce this video. It's going to take X, let me back up, X amount of time to plan the video, X amount of time to actually shoot the video, X amount, and most likely a longer amount of time to edit the video, and all the little intricacies in between. It's going to take me 7 hours just to find the freaking music to put in the video. Okay. Because if you're a videographer, you know that is by far the most strenuous part, is finding the right piece of music for a video. You'll spend 4 hours looking for a freaking piece of music that doesn't sound like every other piece of music you've used or you've heard, and you haven't even started cutting the video yet. So that's a side issue. All right, that's an internal problem. So we know on our end our costs. If I'm going to have one or two guys on set with me, I got to pay them. If I'm using an editor, I have to pay the editor. All of those are baseline costs, right? It's like a contractor saying, I'm going to need 10 2x4s. I'm going to need a box of nails. I'm going to need some wood glue. I'm going to need a sheet of plywood. All right, that's the material cost. That's not what they're charging you. They're charging you that plus taxes, most likely, plus profit. Everybody's got make some money, right? Everybody's got to make a profit. So you just got to figure out what that looks like for you and what the power is, what the value is for your customer, your potential customer. You haven't even locked them in yet. What is the value for your potential customer? So super important that you have those very clear and honest discussions early on. So that way, when you do come back, like those should happen in the discovery call. Then when you come back with a strategy meeting where you're actually showing them ideas that you came up with based on the information you discovered, and based off of the budget that they hopefully have given you, which they did not give you because they don't know what the budget is. They don't want to give you a number because they think if they give you a number, you're going to max out the number just because I just need to know, are we making a $5,000 video or are we making a $50,000 video? Those two videos look completely freaking different. The $50,000 video, guess what? We're getting hair, makeup, wardrobe. You're going to have little charcuterie board, like snacks, all of that stuff. The higher budget projects that I do, those one-off projects where we're going to be there for a day, I will cater those. I'll rent out a space. I'll go above and beyond. I will that's coming out of my profit margin. I will make less money to create a better experience for the client. I want them to have a better experience if they're spending more money with me. Just how it goes. Kind of going on a tangent here. But as a videographer, where was I going? I kind of lost the track of my thought there. As a videographer or the video production company, you need to figure out what those budgets are going to be, but that's the value exchange. You're building trust in them with these assets, right? I forgot there was something else that I wanted to build off of that I completely is escaping my brain right now. So I'm not going to be able to think of it right now. I'll think of it as soon as I hit end the recording. But that's kind of what the power is. Now, as a video production company, if you're not using video testimonials for yourself, that's a problem. Practice what you preach. Okay. Don't be the plumber or, don't be the plumber who's got the leaky faucet at his own house. Practice what you preach. Do the thing that you're saying that everybody else should be doing. You should be doing that too. That's something that I've struggled with in the past. As a video producer, a videographer, if you are uncertain on how to go about this, how to pitch this, how to how do I format this? What's the oh yeah, I remember now. How do I even shoot these things? How do I keep it simple? How do I make it a nice free flowing experience for the customer on camera? The way I like to do it is this. I say with my client, I say, what are the most important aspects of the conversation with your customer that we need to pull out of it? Is it we want them to talk about the efficiency, the cost, how respectful everybody was, the fact that you showed up when you said you were going to show up, all of those things, right? We drill that down into about 4, 5 max questions. Okay. Why did you need to hire somebody like Burke Home Services in the first place? Not them specifically, but what was the issue that caused you to start searching for somebody in this industry? Okay. Why did you go with Burke over all the other people that are available? Okay. We're starting to now drill down into why Burke is a better choice than the other service providers in the market. What was the experience like? What was the result of them coming in and doing the work for you? What was that experience like? We have the customer explain in short what that experience was like. Is there anything else that you want to add to that I didn't ask you specifically? Usually they say no, but sometimes they think of something. You know what? When they showed up, our water had to get turned off, and they actually brought a cooler of drinks with them, and it was so hot that day. I just thought it was so thoughtful that they brought, a cooler of waters and Modelo's. And I don't know if Burke's bringing Modelo's to the client's house, but they're probably bringing waters. And and we thought that was nice. All right, completely random. I would have never thought to ask them about the Modelo's, in the backyard that day. I would have never thought of that. So we always try to leave it open for them a little bit to kind of spill a couple more beans. And then we almost always end it with, would you recommend them to people that you trust, your friends, your family, people that you love? I do, I would, and I do, and I have. And then boom, we close it out. All right. Finish with a logo, an end card, whatever it is. That's how I do those. I keep them simple. I keep it a conversation. You don't want anybody reading from a teleprompter. They're going to sound like a robot. Almost nobody can read from a teleprompter and sound natural. Almost nobody. I'm going to give you a little story here. Okay. We're running long. I got to get my kid off the bus, but I'm going to give you a little story anyway. I had a client once. We were going to do a mission video. I said, listen, let's think about these questions. I'm going to just sit down with you guys. I'm going to ask you guys questions. We'll have a Q&A. It'll just be a conversation. Let's figure out what information we kind of want to get. That will help us determine what questions I'm going to ask you. You may say something where I think of a new question, and now we're just having a conversation. It's going to sound super natural. It's going to be great. The night before, they had not provided the questions yet or the information I asked for. The night before, they said, we all wrote pieces that we're just going to read. The night before, I said, this is a bad idea. I told you this was a bad idea, and I'm going to tell you again, because you're paying me lots of money, that this is a bad idea. You are not going to sound natural. You are going to sound robotic. It's going to be very hard for me to cut this up. It actually went from a mission video into something else. It just turned into like a very long ad, a very long commercial, because it wasn't what it was meant to be. Now, that's kind of not my fault, but I have to take some responsibility. I should have made it more clear than I already did that this was not the way to go about it. But that's the way we went about it. It was a fucking nightmare to edit that and not sound robotic. The conversation pieces that I had after they read their scripts was the stuff that I wound up using. There was only maybe one or two of the girls who were fucking on top of it. Not only, I didn't even have a teleprompter back then. I had a piece of paper just like hanging off the front of the tripod here. The one girl, she knew exactly what she needed to say. She freaking killed it, blew it out of the water. She set the tone. Everybody else was a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less. But it made it a nightmare to edit. It came out great. I mean, the video came out great. They don't use me anymore because that's a side story. I think somebody kind of maybe bad mouthing me behind my back type of deal. I don't know, whatever. But it was great working with them. I hope that I get to work with them again. It was a fantastic video. It was one of the best videos that we've done here at Seymour Mac Productions. But that's neither here nor there. It's a conversation, and that's the way you want to keep the client testimonials. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here because my wife called me. I ignored her call. She might be seeing this right now saying, dude, you're live streaming on Facebook and you're not answering my phone call. And my son is going to be getting off the bus very shortly. So to wrap it all up and to encapsulate it, as a business owner, whether you are a plumber, a cafe owner, a restaurant, a lawyer, a construction management company, a videographer, a photographer, video client testimonials, do them, have them. You don't have to hire me to do them. You could do them yourself. Make sure the lighting is good, the audio is good. That's it. These don't have to be super duper produced. But if you want the super producer, call your boy, Mike Brown with Seymour Mac Productions. Drop me a DM. Drop me a comment in the chat. Obviously, nobody's seeing this live because nobody's commenting. And I don't care. I don't care. I'm speaking into the ether. It doesn't matter to me. Eventually, somebody's going to tune in and somebody's going to get some value out of one of these freaking live streams. So whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, which is where I'm streaming these on a weekly basis, let me know you're here. Let me know if you got any value out of this conversation. And as videographers, if you need any help coming up with a proposal to pitch these to your potential clients, you could reach out to me too. I do them for an arm and a leg, but it will be worth your while. I am not a guru. I'm not even a coach. I'm not a business coach. I tend to take phone calls and then I wind up on the phone with a videographer in fucking Virginia for like 3 hours or up in Connecticut for 4 hours, just like talking about ideas and just sharing all the secret sauce. And I love it. That's what I'm about. I love to do it. But at some point, time is money. So you might have to Venmo me like a $50 bill. I don't know. We'll figure out what the rate is. But thank you. I felt like this was productive. I felt like this was a good one. I never know how to end these, so I'm just going to end it by saying I love you. I'll see you next week where we discuss another very important, viable topic related to videography or your business. Okay? And if there's anything specific you want me to touch on, drop a comment. I will make that the next thing, unless it's about like phrenology or something I'm not really familiar with. Okay? I never know how to end these, so goodbye. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.